Hockey can be a weird sport. You're on top for 2 straight years, just like this guy was, and within 2 years after that, you're out of the NHL. So today we're talking about a very, very talented player who died today, April 23rd, 2024, the very good and the very respected Ed Chadwick. Now, Edwin Walter Chadwick, the native of Fergus, Ontario, played the NHL for the Leafs and the Bruins between 55 and 62. He was the Iron Man of the Leafs, playing at one point 140 consecutive regular season games, but never played a playoff contest because the Leafs at the time, in the late 50s, were struggling to rebuild their side. Now, the rest of his career, from 52 to 68, was spent in various minor leagues. He passed away at the age of 90, Tuesday, April 23rd. Now, he started his NHL career, the 56 season, by playing 5 games for the Leafs as a replacement for injured future Hall of Famer Harry Lumley. At the time, every team pretty had a number one goalie with only emergency replacements or one-game wonders taking over. Over the next 2 seasons, Chadwick usurped Lumley, and he would play 140 consecutive regular season contests, which is still a Leafs team record. However, Chadwick's success in the NHL was short-lived, as his playing time curtailed soon after, and he was shipped down to Rochester Americans of the AHL. He only managed to play 4 more NHL games as a member of the Bruins in 61-62. Chadwick would play the remainder of his hockey life in the AHL, first for the Bears and then for the Bisons before retiring in 1968. So Hershey and Buffalo, he was pretty well a very strong hometown hero. Now, 5'11", 188. When he retired from playing hockey, he became a scout for the Oilers. He won 5 Stanley Cup rings with them between 84 and 1990, but his name was only put on the cup in 85, 87, and 1990. So a 5-time Stanley Cup winning scout with the Oilers, and he helped develop a lot of Western prospects. Now, first came to major problems with the St. Mike's Majors in 1951, where he played 50 games. 52, he had a 28-17-3 record in 49 contests. In 53, his best season with St. Mike's, a 3.28 average, 8-8 the postseason in 46 plus 16 contests. Now, first pro game was in the AHL with the Pittsburgh Hornets in 53, where he gave up 1 goal in a victory. Now, with the Stratford Indians of the OHA Senior League, he played 4 games in 54 and 2 more with the Hornets with a 1-1 record. Now, with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds of the NOHA, he played 38 games in 55. He also saw 2 games of action with Buffalo in the AHL. Now, with the Winnipeg Warriors of the WHL, a very, very strong campaign. 88 games that year. He won 55 of them, 43 losses, and 6 ties. 296 average in the regular season, and a title win in the WHL in the playoffs, the 1-4 series. Now, 56, he made the big call-up with Toronto, 2-3 with a .60 goals against average. 2 of those victories, of course, were by shutout. So both his first victories in the AHL were by blanks. Now, 57 with the Leafs, 21, 34, and 15. His record didn't really reflect how good he was that year, 266 average. 58, rough year for Toronto again, 21, 38, and 11. With 4 shutouts and 319 average. 59, he played in 31 games, 12, 15, and 4, with 3 blanks, 297 average. Split time in 1960 between Rochester and Toronto, 4 games with the Leafs, 1, 2, and 1. And of course, this was the start of the Johnny Bower decade. And he also played with Rochester, 39, 24, and 4, with 4 blanks. Now, 61 back with Rochester, a big 71 games. 32, 35, and 4, 3.29 average. With the Bruins in 62, 3 and 1, his last cup of coffee in the NHL. And he also played that year with the underrated Kingston Frontenacs of the EPHL, going 36, 23, and 8 in the regular season, and 6 and 5 in the postseason. Now, 63, another big campaign with Hershey, 34, 26, and 7, with a 3.22 average, 8 and 7 in the postseason. His durability continued in 64 when he had 57 contests, 31, 22, and 3, with 3 and 3 in the postseason. And wrapped up his career with 4 straight years with the Bisons, 61, 34, 36, and 18 contests, 33, 21, and 6, 14, 18, and 1, 523-2 and 5-8-1. Best campaign was again 65 with a 3.02 average, 5-4 in the postseason. So NHL record 57-92 and 35, 11,033 minutes played, 14 blanks, 294 average. Now he was the AHL first team in 1960, AHL second team in 61 and 65. He was the Harry Happ Memorials Award winner for fewest games allowed in the NHL, and again those cups with Edmonton as a chief scout. Now according to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who were saddened to learn of the passing of former Leafs netminder Ed Chadwick. He played in 140 consecutive games in net for the Leafs, and was the last Leafs goalie to play every game of the season. Our condolences are with his friends and family. That was again a tweet by the Maple Leaf squad. What's kind of ironic here, ladies and gentlemen, last night was probably one of the most interesting playoff wins in Toronto Maple Leaf history of modern era. Austin Matthews scored a very beautiful goal late in the contest that could shift the whole series against Boston. So it's kind of ironic. Our thoughts go to a player who gave his all for Toronto, and that's what Toronto did last night. I'm not a big fan of the Leafs, but I have to recognize a good effort. Austin had a good game. Toronto played a good, solid defensive match. But Ed Chadwick, I know even though Toronto didn't have much success back in the day, especially the late 50s, he was one of the bright lights at a very, very, what I call a rebuilding side. So he will be greatly missed by his family and friends. And the idea, ladies and gentlemen, 90s a good life. When you think of Toronto Maple Leaf goalies, we forget how good Ed Chadwick was, because he was always willing to take on the bigger teams of the league, like Chicago, Detroit, and Montreal. I know he once said, and I think it was the Globe and Mail, he said, stopping Bobby Hull is like stopping a freight train. He said it doesn't happen very often. So that's the story of the great Chadwick. If you like what you're doing here with our memorial podcast for great hockey players, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And it's been a pretty weird couple of days because we've lost a few sports stars. The great Roman Gabriel, which you covered in the podcast just recently, passed away this week. One of the most underrated quarterbacks in what he called the 1960s AFL, NFL era of pro football. Roman was kind of the poor man's Joe Namath. So if you're looking for that podcast, we did it about a year ago. If you want to go in our search engine, and anytime you like to request any tribute podcast to your favorite athlete, be it past or present, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And requests are always highly appreciated and always highly considered. And don't forget, as we say in the North Shore in Maple Leaf Country, keep your stick in the ice. Bye.